Hey, this is Matt. Once again, we're about to the videos, another paid request, this time for the final cut. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. Now, I didn't mention what year, because there's a couple films called The Final Cut, so I assume it was this one with Robin Williams. And this one, I've seen before. In fact, now that I remember, don't I? Oh, lo and behold. Because when he passed away, I picked up as many of his films as I could. There was this right here. Because when he passed away, it's like, hey, I'll have it for the collection. Because I miss the guy. I'm a big Robin Williams fan. I was not a fan of this movie, though. Because I had seen it. When he passed away, I did watch some of these movies, and this one was just very lame, in my opinion. Okay, this is the plot. Welcome to the not-too-distant future, where implanted microchips record every single moment of a person's life. Upon death, it becomes the job of a cutter, like Robin Williams' character, to edit down the deceased's entire lifetime into a fitting memorial film. For years, he has used his godlike power of Final Cut to absolve the dead of a multitude of sins. But when he views a terrible secret that can't be erased, he finds his own life in jeopardy in this riveting sci-fi thriller. There's nothing riveting about this film. At all. Just as it says on the bat there, yes, it's in a future where certain people are chosen, or a parent can decide, hey, I want my kid to have this, so when they pass away, we'll have this film. Now, granted, most people have this thing called video cameras, or nowadays it'd be fucking phones, or just a camera. You have a camera, and you could do the same thing. Just, okay, save all the footage, and then at the end do it. But here, it's literally a microchip. It records. Now, granted, how a cutter is supposed to go through hundreds, thousands of hours of a person's life, and how long would that fucking take to go through? Well, obviously, it'd have to even fast forward. There'd be a lot of shit to get through. But okay. I would say, it's a different idea. But again, just the whole logistics of it all, like, what's wrong with just having a fucking video camera and just recording like normal? And then the fact that parents you're putting this into your kids, and why would anyone want that? That's the thing. I don't know why anyone would ever want this fucking thing. Just think about that. I'm being recorded on anything. That means during sex. That means during jerk-off sessions. That means during taking a shit. And you look at the shit. Someone someday is going to be watching this stuff and seeing all this. Who the fuck would want this fucking thing? Now, this is something where you're forced, because it's this future where you have this in it, so you have to behave, because you don't know if someone's watching you or not. You'll never know when you'll be watched. You may be doing something nobody's watching you, but you could be doing something if one person catches you and you're doing something wrong. Do. Oops, sorry, you got caught, but you won't know. Like, maybe that could have been interesting in that type of future, fascist type of future. But no, that's not the case here. So, the whole idea of the film is kind of wonky to me. Who the fuck would want this? It'd be like, yeah, I want something in here to be recorded, so in case I'm jerking off, or, I come on someone's titties, or I'm in a titty bar, or I don't know who the fuck would want that job. I mean, I don't know. And again, to go through an entire person's life, like, how long would that fucking take? You know how long it takes for people. Like, think about how many hours of footage people do with a film, right? Making a movie. How many hours are shot during the movie? Like, think about that. If you shoot for 4 weeks, right? Let's say you shoot for 4 weeks, a month, 4 weeks. Let's say you shoot 10 hours a day. 10 hours a day, 7 days a week. So you get, 70 hours. 7 times 4 is 28. So 280 hours of footage, maybe. Hell, let's say somehow you got 400 hours of footage. 400 hours of footage. It takes months to edit that shit. Months to edit that shit. That's a month of. This is an entire life of 50 years, 55 years, 60. So the whole concept, the idea, who the fuck would want this? Unless it was a punishment. Like, okay, if this was a movie about if you're an offender, a sex offender, a murderer, and you get out of jail, but before you get out of jail, you get these implants on you, and there's one person who watches you, and they watch you as their job, like as their pro officer to watch you and stuff. Like maybe that could be something, but this. So the whole concept didn't work for me. The whole idea didn't work for me from the get-go. I love Robin Williams, but he's given such a. There's nothing to his character in this. It's a very boring performance. It's really one of the more. It's one of the most subdued, boring performances I've seen from Robin because he's given not much to work with. Pretty much his character, when he was a kid, spoilers, he and his friend were playing as kids. He crossed something, kind of goaded the kid, come across as well. Oh, please, wait. No, I can't do it. Fine, I'll do it. Oh, shit. I'm ready to fall. Please help me. Robin's character froze as he was scared. The kid fell. When Robin's character went down, he sees the kid, what looks like in a pile of blood. He runs off. He's felt guilty ever since. So in this, as his cutter, edits footage of these lives, and a lot, if there's horrible stuff in it, he'll cut those out. Like if the person's a beater, abuser, whatever, he cuts those out. As one person says, you take the lives of people and make lies out of them. You take monsters and you make them into saints. So the rest of it is either him trying to talk with Mira Sorvino, which is really just him kind of showing random footage of what he's cutting. And I don't think the two of them really had much chemistry with each other. It didn't really feel like much of a love story between the two at all. I didn't just Robin every once in a while showing her some footage that he's cutting. And maybe going into bed and not seeing much after that. So I didn't really buy their love story. I don't think they had chemistry with each other. I like Mira Sorvino, but not even much to do in this. Jim Caviezel's in the film as he was a former cutter. He's with this group of anti-microchip, I think the whole thing is called Zoe program, so he's anti that. Because only God and God alone can watch people. And for him, it's like, again, you're making these lies and turning sinners into saints. And this new job that Robin Williams got is this guy named Bannister. And he's a big CEO guy, and he's part of this organization. And it's like, if we're able to get evidence, which is that this guy had molested his own daughter, that will cripple the company and maybe make the whole country change their idea of this whole program. Which I'm sitting there going, why the fuck do you care? If you don't have it, it doesn't affect you. I mean, if that's it, if you're so goddamn, say, hey, do you have something or not? Do you have one of those implants or not? Or, oh, I gotta watch what you say. Isn't that what we do in the real fucking world? We gotta watch what we say because people just pull out a fucking phone. So what's next? We don't have anti-phoners? Fuck all the phones! Get rid of all the phones because I'm tired. People could be filming me and I don't know it yet. So Jim Caviezel's organization doesn't make sense either, like the people he's working for. Because just like today with phones, just don't act like an asshole in your own home then. Or just do what you want in your own home, not out in public. Because if we don't have microchips in people, at least as I know of, but we have phones and people just, with the fucking dirty fingerprints they got on here, we have phones, people just shoot. So, again, by this logic, they would get rid of all the fucking cell phones that record. Just how many times you see on YouTube, people record shit. But yeah, this is 2004. So YouTube wasn't even a big thing. And wasn't really a thing much in 2004, so... Nowadays, this whole thing's kind of null and void because people just record and put the shit on YouTube. But you don't have people going, fuck the phones. No, at least not yet. So Jim Caviezel offers $500,000. I want those memories. Robin Williams is like, no, I can't sell it. It's part of the code of the job. Robin, while he's looking at this guy, he sees someone who he recognizes might be the kid from back in the day. Now, I don't get how he puts two and two together, because all I see is a guy with glasses, and all he does is he cleans his glasses a certain way. I mean, like this. Like he does this. You know. I do that too, and I wear glasses too. That'd be like if Robin would see me. He would think I was the fucking kid. So, because they're little kids, and this guy looks like he's, I don't know, 50 years old. So, like, how, just because he cleaned his glasses a certain way, you just assume that might be that kid from, decades ago. He tries to look into it. He talks with the guy's daughter, which Robin knows she was molested, but she's trying to just say nice things about her dad because she's been programmed to. That was a nice scene, because I thought the girl did a nice job, where she does answer Robin's questions, and, hey, we don't have to talk about your dad, oh, thank you. And I thought the girl, like, you could tell she's been programmed to be certain things. She seemed like a nice person. That whole scene is one of the few that worked for me. He asks some more questions. He looks up info of who this guy is, because the girl says, oh, that guy, yeah, right. He was a teacher of mine at one point, and I think he passed away a year ago. So Robin's very obsessed to know if this is the guy from back in the day, because if it is, that means the kid survived. That means he doesn't have to feel guilty anymore. So he's looking for information. Spoiler, he finds out he himself has an implant. He was never told this because his parents died before they could tell him. Now, granted, you would think somebody else, a doctor, anybody else would tell him, but no, apparently only his parents do, and I didn't stop anybody else, whatever. Wouldn't people be told, like, hey, by the way, in case you don't know, he has one of those implants, like, that type of procedure, whatever. I guess not in this universe. So he finds out he's had an implant. He freaks out about it. Mira Sorvino finds out that one of the guys was Mira Sorvino's former boyfriend or something like that. So he saw footage of her, and she's like, is this why you wanted to be with me? And he's like, no. So she dumps his ass, and you never see her again. So that's really the whole Robin Mira Sorvino thing didn't really go anywhere. There's really no big payoff to all that shit, at least to me. He tells his other cutter friends, listen, there's a, there's a risky way to see into someone's implant while they're alive. They do it begrudgingly. He sees that he had walked in paint, not blood, and the kid was breathing. So the kid was alive. It was the guy, so he could feel less guilty. What payoff do you get out of that? Nothing, because the next day, or two or three, Jim Caviezel finds out that, yeah, this footage of the Bannister guy got destroyed, but we just found out you have an implant, and you saw all of it. So you have the footage in your implant, because you saw it and was deleting and shit. So we need you. So Jim Caviezel hunts Robin Williams. He's going to shoot him. Decides not to. And another guy shoots and kills Robin Williams. They take Robin's implant. They take the footage. Which, by the way, okay, fine. That guy, oh my god, he's this bad guy. I don't know if that'll cripple the company. I mean, this... I hate to say this, but how many times have we seen organizations where you find out the person or a big upper echelon VP or president did a horrible thing, and then the company is still around though? The stocks may go down for a bit, but then they'll get a new CEO and say, we abhor this, we never found out, this cutter must be a renegade, blah, blah, blah. They would pass the blame, pass the buck, do not collect gold, do not collect $200, and they did a bit of a roadblock and then still be in business. So I don't think this one thing would have crippled that company, among other shit. There'd be enough people into it that they'd probably be some big old back and forth fight argument over it. Or there'd be a black market type of thing. Hey, do it, but do it in secret because no one else would know. And I don't know. Then it still wouldn't solve the problem. Once that technology's out there, someone else will adapt and do something with it. Or we'll do it, but we'll do it better. So, and then Robin Williams' character dies. It's a thriller that's not that thrilling. This makes it seem like Robin's on the run. Like he's being hunted. Which is not really the case until the last 5 minutes. Like, again, you look to the front and you look to the back with him running. It makes it seem like it's going to be The Fugitive, sci-fi The Fugitive. That's not the case. At all. And then by the end you go, what the fuck was the point of all this? And then Jim Caviezel says, your life will mean something, I promise. As he's cutting Robin Williams' memories and editing it and for their evidence to bring the CEO guy down. So it's a downbeat, lame ending. Robin got his guilt-free, only to die 5 minutes in. Murder Servino dumped him over what might have been a misunderstanding or something else. I don't know, the whole thing just... I didn't care for it. I didn't think it was that thrilling. I think the whole idea, the setup is even clunky, and just have a lot of questions you would ask yourself about, the justification of things. This probably would be one of my least favorite Robin Williams films. And again, his performance, it just... Probably the way he was directed or whatever, just very subdued, very lackluster, just nothing of note. Really nothing of note with this movie. And, yeah, just not a fan of this one at all. Really not. That's just me, though. And it's just, I don't know. To me, it was a waste of Robin's talent. I don't know why he did this film. I mean, it's, hey, I get to be the lead, and it's something that's not just a comedy, so it's someone doing different. Maybe that's why, but there's a reason why nobody fucking talks about this film. So, just very, just Robin didn't have many movies left, and the fact, the waste is, he didn't know it at the time, but the very few movies he had left, and they had to be one of these. This fucking piece of shit. If you like the film Teach Throne, I think it's a boring piece of shit. So we'll see you guys later. Bye bye.